Rain, rain, go away. Please come back some other day. Or just prepare for the rain. Stay tuned. Hey everybody. So this video's brought to you by a buddy of mine. Not actually, but it was his idea. Actually, it's the same guy who does the rings. So, don't forget, go over to SEAHORSE Laser and Design on Etsy. I will make sure the link is in the description. You can still get yourself 5% off some rings. So, get over there, pick up some rings. Please help me help him. He's a good dude. Does really good work. This is all stainless. All the rings are stainless. So they, they will last. Especially his process where he cuts them, wire wheels them, then tumbles them so they get the nice finish on them. They fit any 24 bolt rim. Okay? So all your Amazon specials, Jora, whatever. Especially my favorite, your Vanquish wheels. They fit right on. And as you saw in the last video, in case you didn't, this is how they look on how I have them set up. So you can see I put his ring on, and then I put the black ring on just to give it that kind of depth feel, or double whatever. I just like that look, so that's the look I went with. And the ones that I don't, not everyone's going to love them, but I like them. These are the Paw Patrollers on there. So, yeah. Anyway, he gave me the idea for this video. I know it's been now, I think, a couple weeks. This will be 2 weeks here. The weather has been horrible. Of course, now it's decently nice outside for the next week, so I'll try and get a run video done. I do have some time off, so should be able to get something done for you guys. But over the past, couple weeks, it has just been rain, or kids have been sick, or there's just, life gets busy, right? I'm trying to get other things done over here. Cleaning is not one of them. But he just kind of was like, hey, you should do a video about how you prep for rain. Like prepping, cleaning, and all that stuff. Now I'm going to go straight up and say, I don't really clean the trucks. If they're covered in mud, like when I had the Baja Ray, which is in the beginning intro where it hits the camera, I'd literally just dump that truck in the shower, the bathtub, and just start because we have the hose shower nozzle thing that comes off, and I would just spray all the rock and mud out. With these trucks, same thing. That's what I'll do. I'll pull some electronics out if I have to, but that's really all I do. I generally just wait until the stuff is dry, and then I have decently good paintbrush. To be honest, this actually just came from a dollar store, but it's super soft. So if you're like really into that, like ooh, soft. Some people like that. I know my wife's one of them. She, like just the feeling of a soft paintbrush. She loves it. Take that however you want. But not in that sense. She just likes soft paintbrushes. She's also a painter. So. Anyway, what I do is I'll just go over the truck. It's good for dust. But when you need to get in underneath for whatever reason, I like to get going, and once the stuff's all dry, it generally just comes off. Go outside, just start brushing it down, and it all generally comes off. If it's like thick mud, that's when, yes, I'll go into the shower and I'll spray it down, and then I stick it in a towel and I let it dry. But my preparation for driving in rain or mud or just really be mud, in my opinion, or snow. I like snow, but we just, yeah, I'm in Canada, but I'm in the one place in Canada that just barely gets snow. Because we're in Vancouver Island and I'm on the southern tip. So Victoria, we get snow, but not like where I grew up, which is Kamloops, BC. I grew up on ski hills, and then I moved back here, and because I was born here, moved to anyway, and there's just no snow. So instead of veering off, let's stick to the thing. Stop talking to me about other stuff. I gotta get going here, guys. Like, seriously, jeez. Anyway, so what I do when I'm building the truck, especially, get a can. You can get Udder Butter and all that other stuff. I have nothing against Cow RC. I love Cow RC. Problem is the cost. And like everything today, everything costs a pile of money. So this, I believe, was Amazon. Let's turn this off. That's something you should do before filming. Think I'd remember that? Nope. Anyway, I believe this was just from Amazon. Get it wherever you want. This I know is from, it's older, but this is the same type stuff, but it's from, I believe, this is Home Hardware. It's a Canadian hardware store. But I mean, you can get it at Castle and Canadian Tire. Princess Auto, maybe. If you're wondering, Princess Auto is the Canadian Harbor Freight. And Canadian Tire is amazing. But this is just from Amazon. It is marine grease. Thick, goopy green grease. As you can see, I've used quite a bit. I've had this for a couple years. You know, doesn't go bad. And now I got grease all over my pants. Yep. I don't know why I always smell grease, but it reminds me of being a kid and going in my grandpa's old shop and everything just smelled like grease. You also come from a fishing family, so you know we were always fixing the boats and stuff, so I'm very used to marine grease. But the thing about marine grease, you can use white lithium grease or automotive grease, whatever you want. It's your choice. But marine grease actually repels water. It's called marine grease. So for me, and Udder Butter's the same concept. But for me, I prefer a grease that's not going to just kind of go away when it gets wet. Now most of the parts in these trucks, like modern trucks, are pretty well sealed. But you still have certain things that are just, they're going to get, water's going to get in them. So, you know, your transmissions, your axles, all your bearings, I like giving them a good, I coat them. I don't thickly coat them because that creates friction and it can actually cause damage and stuff. Makes your motor work harder. But get a nice thin layer of marine grease on everything. So my diff gears, the pinion, the ring and pinion, all the bearings, even the shaft when it's going in. I just like getting some grease in there. These F10s, they have the brass shafts. I think it's brass or steel, whatever, stainless, whatever it is. But I like getting some grease inside that. So if water's going in there, it just kind of helps keep it out. Not a lot, again, just enough that it's just giving everything a little bit of lubrication and it's going to stay good. I have, what would be the oldest thing I've got here? It would be this truck. I have yet to pull the diffs apart. Actually, no, the oldest thing I have is the D44 axles that are in the BFG Mojave. BFG 410 is what I call it. That was on the Origin, which I got that, I think, over a couple of years ago now. right around a couple years ago. Like that was the first Vanquish truck I got, and then I was hooked. And now it's all I have, basically. But those axles, when I got them, I took them all apart, put all that stuff in there, and they are still running strong. There is no squeaking going on from the bearings. I've gone over the C hubs, because those are like the bearings and the hubs, or the knuckles. They're, you know, those are going to get hit the easiest. Gone over those when I went over them, and they're still the stock bearings, and those bearings have got to be close to... the guy said that he didn't replace anything. He ran it, the old 3 gear was like wobbly, the gears were all moving, took everything apart. So I soaked the bearings in WD-40. When it's done, then if I have it, I'll get just some oil, which I generally don't have, but this is my grandpa talking. Soak them in WD, get everything loosened up. Then I go and put 10W30 oil, whatever, in a little cup. Let them sit in that. Then, usually overnight, then after that, coat them in this. I'll put a glob of this in, you know, one of these. This little thing I 3D printed for my daughter's table, which she just kept throwing around. So as you can see, there's a bunch of, you know, grease and stuff in there. And let them just get coated and everything. That 3 gear is still running today. I don't have it anymore, but I know it's still running. And the guy sent me a picture because he's a few provinces over. Still running it. It hasn't broke down. Same with those axles. Everything is the same as it was. And I've run those axles in mud, snow, dirt, sand, like everything. And they keep on going because of how I prepare everything when I build them and how I maintain them. So when it comes to wet weather, muddy weather, snowy weather, any of that, which technically is all wet weather, marine grease. I love marine grease because it just helps keep everything going. You think of boats out in the ocean, freshwater, whatever, they're all covered in marine grease. Everything's got marine grease. And there's boats that just stay in the water. And, you know, that grease, I remember pulling a boat out with my grandpa. I was, you know, I think 12. Pulled no boat out of the water. And it hadn't been out of the water in a long time. And like years. The marine grease was still in the bearings. It was something. It was not like this marine grease. It was not nice and fresh. But it was still doing its job. And so it just kind of goes to show what marine grease is built to do. Or created to do. Whatever. So that is what I absolutely think you should do. You can do whatever you want. If you're in a desert and you're not really going to have a lot of rain or snow, just use grease. It does, you know, just use anything. It doesn't really matter. You're really not going to dry anything out. I wouldn't worry too much about that. But the second thing I would do, I don't know where my other one went, which I need for the truck. Oh, it's right here. And of course, is it there? Nope. I lost the thingy. Yeah. Oh, Vanquish drive shafts? It's always interesting when you find it. That's an Incision drive shaft sitting there, but I was actually looking for that. Anyway, veering off of the topic here. I don't know where the thing went, so this one might be garbage now. Sort of. Yeah, so hold on. Let me just get all this out. This all just right there. Okay, sorry about that. So this is a Traxxas receiver box. Clamps down like that. Anybody that's on a Traxxas knows that this box. This comes in all the Slashes, Revos, everything. Maybe except a couple of the smaller trucks or RCs. But I think my 1/16 Revo, 10 years ago, whatever, had one of these. Not 100% sure. I actually missed that thing. If I ever find one, I would buy it again. Those little things are fun. Anyway. They're waterproof. So, right around in there, you see the little where something would sit, we'll just say. There's a little blue, basically O-ring gasket that sits in there, and then it sits also in there. Clamp it down, screw it on. Water will not go in that. Then your wires come out of there, and then you have this little thing here, this little door, what I call it. It's got a foam gasket. You can use other stuff if you want, but it seems to work fine. It screws onto there, and then when you screw it all down, it clamps right in, and you're good. And that stops water from getting to your receiver. I have had, when I've like fully submerged a vehicle, water has it has gotten in here. But I mean, like, it was submerged. But it wasn't, it was like, wasn't full of water, it was just a little bit of water on the bottom. And the receiver was kind of acting up, took it out, blew it off, let it sit. Still using that receiver today, and it's actually in the BFG truck, and it works perfectly fine. Some people do say that the blue, I don't know where it is, I think it's over there with those parts, but the blue flysky receiver that's for like the GT5 and everything, the 6-channel, a lot of people say that it's waterproof because it's blue. I don't believe that. Just because it's blue doesn't mean it's waterproof. Traxxas does that, but I think it might be a water resistant, but fully submerged, no. The next step you can do, which I don't do, for me, as you can see here, waterproof receiver box. My electronics are all waterproof anyway. Waterproof enough. I'm not putting this thing down in a lake or something. At least making sure I try not to. But another good idea is if you're really gonna, a lot of water crossings, deep water, just, that kind of stuff. Mud bogging where water's definitely gonna get affecting your stuff, and your stuff isn't IP7, I think that is, or I think it's IP7 or whatever. Basically, waterproof, like full blown. What you can do is you can get I know there's an electrical grease that helps repel water, but you can also get a conformal coating. So you can conformal coat all your electronics. Generally, the motors and ESCs are waterproof. Don't really have to worry about those. Same with the receiver or the servos today. They're generally all, IP67, whatever. They're all waterproof. It's the receivers that generally aren't. So you can pull your receiver apart, dip it in conformal coating, let it dry, and you're good. I think you can get a spray too and just spray everything down. If you're so inclined, take your top of your servo off, spray the board. But that's, you really shouldn't have to do any of that. If you just get, there might be other companies, but invest in a good waterproof receiver box. If you don't have the space, get conformal coating, because I know that works as well. I know RC Sparks, he conformal coats everything. And other people do too. I'm just not, but that's really it. I do not vent my tires. Absolutely not. I have no interest. Make sure I'm Yeah. None of them, I don't vent my tires. Water will get in there somehow, no doubt about it. But I hate vented tires. Don't live in a desert. And even comp crawling. Just having, you know, it's just, real vehicles don't have vented tires. It's air, I get that, but you know, like it just I hate vented tires. I hate I hate that sound. Like I hate it. But I don't like vented tires. So that's another thing. Keep your tires sealed. If you are going to be doing crazy things and you like vented tires, you're one of those people, get yourself the silicone foams. I know Endura makes them. Even their 2-stage, I do have a pair here because I wanted to try them. They're inner, so it's foam on the outside, and then this here, this is silicone. I can't say I love that, but at the same time, it really gives it some weight. So we'll see if that does anything. Everything else, Vanquish 2-stage foams, BoomRacing on those. Because they didn't have 4.9 foams, dual stage foams at the time, so I stuck with the BoomRacing ones because I like BoomRacing. Great company. But now they have them so you can buy them there. There's also anti-foams, loads of 3D printed foams out there. If you have a printer, you can print your own. I have a printer. I could, but I like foam. I don't know. I never even used dual stage for the first many years. I didn't touch dual stage foams. I didn't believe in them. And then I think it was the Origin that got Crawler Innovation foams, and well, my mind was changed because I realized, okay, they're, you know, everything back in when I was doing RC in the early Quack RC days, that was all 2.2 stuff. So there was just so much tire and foam in there. And ironically, in my Bomber, I technically did have 2-stage foams, but I just made my own. I just wanted more foam in the tire because the tire just didn't have a lot of foam. So I just added a little bit of different foam that I had and just kind of made my own, and it worked. But they weren't actual dual-stage foams. Anyway, veering off there. Foams will deteriorate with water. So having sealed tires, that's generally not going to be a problem. Over time, they'll still deteriorate, so you will have to get new ones, is what it is. I've been running these ones now for has to be over a year. It's been over a year since I built this truck, the BFG 410. And they're still holding up perfectly strong. Nothing wrong with them. They're a softer foam, so they have, they've got the side, but they're just softer. But they haven't deteriorated yet. Those two trucks I don't really drive in the snow, per se. This truck I will. It's ready for it. Although I might kind of switch some things around, because this truck is, it is kind of my pride and joy in a sense, because this is the truck that delivered the rings at my wedding. It got a new paint job because the original paint job didn't last, so I got a new body and all that good stuff. But I don't really want to beat this truck up. I don't drive it a whole lot. I drive it on nice days, and we just go for a cruise, man. Just take it slow. Uno momento. Sorry about that. Thought someone knocked at the door. So I'm waiting for our C parts. Mirrors, to be exact. That's nothing on the company. It's just shipping, man. Freaking shit. But yeah, so when it comes to preparing a vehicle, marine grease, any kind of waterproofing of your receiver, and if your other electronics aren't waterproof, consider spending the extra and getting waterproof, or just conformal coat it. If you're just like, I don't need to do that, I can just dip it, done. Do not vent your foams, or if you like that, get silicone, or vent your tires, get silicone foams or anti-foams, 3D printed foams. Those won't break down and you'll be perfectly fine. And then cleaning it, same kind of thing. I usually pop my tires off. My tires are always what I clean the most. So like these are a little dirty, but I don't mind a little bit of dirt in them. Tires are supposed to have dirt. But every once in a while I go get them in the sink, get some Dawn dish soap, and just scrub them all up, get everything out of them. If they're really muddy, when I'm done running them, I'll let the truck dry off, pull the tires off, the wheels off, bring them over to the sink, wash them off, put them on a towel, one of my work towels. Perfect. We're done, right? Everything's good. And if the truck is really bad, I'll hose it off. Even shocks, I put marine grease inside the shock, just on the O-rings. I know everyone likes the slime. I use that too, but I get a little bit of marine grease at the bottom, just to help water not want to come up, and it also prevents a lot of leaking. And then because Vanquish shocks like to leak, the stock ones. I love those shocks, but they do like to leak until you get all the upgraded stuff to make them better. These are the Proline shocks, the Proline Pro Spec Scalar shocks or whatever. These things have literally, I think in the 2 years that I've had them, they need to be rebuilt bad. Like, quite bad. I haven't done it, I gotta do it. I just put them in this truck. They will be coming back out because I'm going to put a different pair of shocks in there when a future build shows up. But it's going to be a couple months for that. Don't worry about it. So like everything, just marine grease what you can. And then when you're done, just go over everything. But just don't worry about mud and water. Just do those simple things. Go have fun. Go drive through mud puddles. Get yourself a Traxxas High Trail and just bog through a bunch of mud. Have fun. I love water. I love mud. Every time I see it, I have to drive through it. I have a number of videos where I'm driving through this big, it's literally just a hole in the bedrock that fills with water. I'm always going in and out of it. Done it for years. When it's dry, I still go through it. So, just have fun. Don't drive in salt water. For the love of God, do not drive in salt water. That'll ruin everything. But just do not worry about water. Marine grease, waterproof your electronics that need to be waterproofed, and simple things with your tires, right? Just have fun. That's all that counts. So on that note, I think I've explained enough and I've blabbed enough, and you guys are probably not even watching anymore. So again, like at the beginning, head over to SEAHORSE Laser and Design, get yourself some rings, BGRC 5, all caps, BGRC 5. That will get you 5% off of any of his rings for trucks. So please go do that. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Really means a lot. You can look up Blind Guy RC on Instagram. I'm on there. I am on Facebook, but it's just kind of my personal / everything else. Instagram's where to go. Just look up Blind Guy RC, and I'm on there. I'm always posting stuff. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.